Right, I'm just going to lop a piece off of this so I can make a mandrel for a water jacket. I don't know what it is, it's just a bit of something I found. Hopefully I can get through it without breaking the blade. So get this in the lathe, spin it up, and we can start working on the mandrel. Right, I've got it chucked up, and I'll get the circle turned on it so I can get it in the chuck, and then I can face it off on the other side and turn it into the mandrel that we require. That's that part of the mandrel made up. I'm just going to take it round, put it back in the chuck, face off the other side, make a little indent the size of the bore. Just going to make a little indent the size of the bore. I mean, it's only very roughly because this is not very round, so just so I can centralize it. Then I can get the holes drilled and get it fixed onto the mandrel. I'm just marking the jaw and the workpiece, so when I take it out to well, actually I don't really need to take it out. Yeah, I do. I'm going to need to take it out to drill it and tap it. So when I take it out, I can get it back in more or less the same position. I mean, it won't matter too much because the fixed position will be self-centering once it's fixed into the mandrel anyway. And as long as I don't take it out and move it during the turning, it should be okay. So I'll just get this faced off. Right, that's nice. So now, because I want to fix this bore onto there, I need to make this, oops, turn it on is going to help, isn't it? $12.37, $12.38, $12.40. Right, let's aim for $12.37. Right, 1368. I need to take off another 131, so I'll go for another 60 on the dial, which will take off about 120, and then I'll remeasure it. Yep. Good. Good. Right, let's just mark on there what side that is. Which is there. Now I need to get those drilled and tapped. Ideally I'd like to do it in here, so it might be down to a bit of hand drilling. Let's see if I can get those drilled and tapped. What I've decided to do is to take it out of the what I've decided to do is to take it out of the lathe, bring it over to the mill, find the centre, and then I can use my PCD on the DRO to locate the holes. I've sort of marked these ones with a punch, but I'm not quite sure how they're going to work out, but that might actually have messed up what I'm now going to do. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial this into the DRO and see how it works out. It might be there's a little twist in this, so what I'll do is I'll go over to this first hole, see how that lines up, which should be about there. Yeah, it's somewhere near, but it's not exactly. Hang on, have a look with a magnifier. Yeah, that's a little bit off according to this. So let's come down to the fourth hole, see how that one lines through, because this is what's the important bit. See how these line through, which is somewhere there. Yeah, we're slightly off to that way, so if I just tap that round just a touch. I'd say that's pretty good. Right, I tried to start drilling them, but because there's a little mark there already, the drill is sort of wandering off where it needs to be. So what I'm going to have to do is just to go around, spot drill them to start with, to get rid of that mark that I put on when I sort of punched them in the lathe. Right, they're out to 4BA now. I'll just get a 4BA tap in there and then I'll bring you back. Right, I've got it back in the lathe now. What I need to do is turn a recess in this end. The reason for that is I need to turn a recess that's going to be bigger than the finished diameter of this hole, which is, hang on, 1 inch and 7/16 is the finished diameter, so I need to make that bigger than 1 inch and 7/16 so that when I run the tool through here there's clearance for the tool to pass by the end of the casting. So let's get that recess machined in there. Right. Right, that's going to be enough clearance. So now, when I fix that on there and the boring bar goes through, it's got enough travel to go past the end of this, so I can bore that all the way through. Right, just get that bolted on, get this bolted on there, and then I'll be back. Right, I'm all set up and ready to go, but of course I have a problem, because the biggest boring bar I have is this one, but I'm not sure how it's going to work on the stick out. So what I'm going to do is try that. If that doesn't work out, I'm going to have to make another one, but it's going to have it's going to have, let's have a look, 3 inches, at least 3 inches of stick out. It's a 5-inch boring bar, so it's going to sing a bit, but we'll get a new tip in, we'll see how it works out. Anyway, I'm just going to face this off to start with. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and touch off on this face here with the edge of the cutter, and then I'm going to move it back. I'm going to set the DRO to 0, so I then will know when I get down to 3000 on the DRO I'll be exactly at 3 inches. Three inches, spot on. Right, let's clean this up a little bit and then I'll be back. Right, I've got the tool set up. Let's see how it works out. Right, I'm going to have to come up with something different for this. I'm getting a heck of a lot of chatter, which I expected anyway, so I'll come up with something and I'll be back. What we're going to do today, with the help of my newly made boring tool, is we're going to bore out this inside of the water jacket. What I'm going to do is, I haven't done these outside bores for the cylinder liner 2-dimension yet. I'm going to bore this out first, and then I'll bore these out last, because there'll be less strain on the boring bar, rather than trying to bore it all out in one go because of the push off. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do today. I've got to work out how much to bore it down. There doesn't seem to be any sort of dimension anywhere. The only dimension I can find is this one here, 1 inch and 13/16, which I think is actually the diameter of the bore for the water jacket. So anyway, let's get over to the lathe, get set up and have a go at this. Right, the cutter is 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, first problem is I've got too much cutter sticking out there, so I'm going to have to just grind that off. So I'll be back. Right, first thing I need to do is just check the cutter height, which is be 89. It needs to come up a little bit. Alright, looks about right there. Right, what I'm going to do now is, because I've got to leave 1/4 of an inch shoulder, so I'm going to put the cutter right on the edge, 0 the DRO, wind the cutter back, come in 1/2 inch, which is 500 on the DRO. You can't see that bit, but that's what I'm referencing it by. Right, 500 on the DRO. That means the cutter is now, the edge to my right is now 1/4 of an inch off of this face. So I'll 0 the DRO there. This is 3 inches long, so I need to bring that cutter in 2 1/4 inches to be forming the shoulder on this side. They're not straight shoulders, because obviously the cutter is angled, which doesn't matter, but 2 1/4 in on the DRO, and I'll know that I've still got 1/4 of an inch left to do the final dimensions on this bore at this end and that end for the cylinder liner. Right, I'm just going to run that down the outside just to check my measurement of 250. Right, I've got to go 200 that way, just under 1/4 of an inch to form the water jacket. So let's get it in to where we need to start, down to 0 on the DRO. Which is about there. Right, let's give it a go. That's as near as I can show you. Yeah, inside the bore. So now I've got to dimension this shoulder and the bottom one. Right, I've got 167 to come off. I've got 1270 there at the moment, 167 to come off, so I'll do one full revolution of the dial and then see how it works out. £10 cut. Perfect. I'll just get in and do the other end now, but I can only work to the dial, so I go 1438 on the dial, and that's all I can do on the other end, and it should, fingers crossed, be the same as this end. I won't know until I actually take it out, because I can measure it with a gauge, but we'll see how it goes anyway. Right, I'm going to cut the back one now. I'm going to do it mostly by feel, because that's pretty much the only way I can go on it. I'm going to measure it with the bore gauge eventually when I get somewhere near, but anyway, we'll see how it goes. It's going to be mostly by feel. I'll bring you back when I've done the other end, because you can't see anything, I can't see anything, so there's no point in me filming it. Right, I managed to take some measurements now with the bore gauge. Oh, there's still some swarf in there. According to that, we're right on the money. So let's go in take it down to the final pass. Right, they both feel the same, they're both on the dial. That's about all I can do. Yeah, that's all I can do. I can just hope that they've end up the same, but according to this, which I don't really have much faith in, but according to this they're the same. So can I break the setup down? Yes, I can. Once I do, that's it. There's no going back. Well, I haven't got to go in there for anything else. Let me just check the drawing. Right, I'm going to break the setup down and see what we've got. Right, that's what we've got. Using the gauge I've made, how does it sit? Oh, look at that. Perfect. Oh, let's do that again. That's worth a repeat, that is. Look at that. Great. Perfect. I'm really happy with that, considering the distance. I did set the lathe up to check it runs true, and it runs pretty true, so I'm really happy with that. So anyway, what I did notice when I bolted it down though, the bolts were catching just on this edge, so I'm just going to indicate that in the forge jaw if I can, and just turn that shoulder down a little bit more. So the next operation will be to go over to the mill, face these off and put some holes through for the water connections. Today I receive a letter, airmail from Belgium. So let's open it up, have a look. I expect it's some money to buy some tools with. No, it's actually better than that. Ta-da! It's actually a Rusty Knox sticker with a little letter which says, "Hi Mark, it is with great pleasure that I send you these stickers printed on eco paper." Very nice. I hope they arrive in good condition. As you can see, they have. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions or just to say hello. Wish you all the best, Michelle from Belgium. But people know me as Rusty Knox. Well, I hope you don't mind. I'll use your real name, Michelle. Great, thanks. So that's a sticker for the board. So let's go over to the board. There's not many on there, and we'll put that on the board. Make a nice straight line. We don't want it all wibbly wobbly, do we? Right, let's put a line on that I can see. That's it. Perfect. Right. What do you think? That side or that side? Let's have it that side, shall we? Yeah. There we go. Perfect. I have got another one. He sent me two. So I need to find somewhere else to put this one. As you can see, I haven't got many stickers on the board. Zoom out a bit. I've got Rusty Knocks now, Model Engineering Adventures, that's Andy, and then Nobby's Workshop from Nobby, and Rusty Inventions. So if you want to go on the sticker board or want to do a sticker exchange, then just contact me. Just so you can see where the sticker board is. It's next to my mill, and my setting out bench, and a little tour of this side is my other workbench. That's all you get. The lathe is behind me, so anyway, that's where the sticker board is. That's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. I would also appreciate it if you would click the subscribe button, because that will enable me to grow the channel so that I can keep making these videos. Please leave a comment or a question. I do read all of the comments and reply to as many as I can. Thanks for watching.